Welcome back. In this edition of Humber News, we've looked into various aspects and talked to different people about the strike. We wanted to speak about the strike and the outcome with a senior person who oversees our program. Joining us in studio is the Dean of the School of Media Studies, Guillermo Acosta. Welcome.
Thank you.
First question, what do you have to say to students who have been negatively impacted by the strike?
Well, the first thing I want to say is I apologize. I apologize for what happened. I apologize that for all the disruption and the stress that this situation caused to the students. But I also want to reassure them that we will make it up. You know, we're working hard to get the semester and the academic year back on track. And I think we have a solid plan to make it happen for the students.
For sure, yeah. What do you think, or do you think it was fair to take away students' February reading week?
Well, I think it's not a question of fairness. I think it's a question of what we had to do to save the academic year. Because with the structure that we have and with the time that we lost, I think that is a good compromise to keep students back in track. The way we did it, we balanced the semesters to 13 weeks, so now we have 2 balanced semesters. So there's not a big loss for any of the semesters, and the students are getting their break between the 22nd of December and January the 8th. Intact, that hasn't changed, and also there's going to be a break of 5 days between the new end of the fall semester and the start of the winter semester, and so I think it's given the circumstances, it is quite balanced, and it takes into account that the students need to take breaks during their studies. Yeah.
What were some of the pressures for you being the Dean of Media Studies during the strike?
Well, it's a lot of pressure. The main pressure is for the students, and as the situation was changing, the scenarios that we were handling were changing to make sure that we could preserve the academic year for the students and also the education experience. When the strike continued to extend, the scenarios were changing. But what was really clear was that preserving the academic year and the academic experience. So what is it that we have to do? Then was when we started talking about, okay, let's push the end of the semester to in January, and let's see what we can do to also keep the winter semester in the best shape possible. So there were many difficult decisions to make, but it was always taking into account what the student experience was, and to making sure that we could keep our promise of fulfilling the education promise that we made for the students.
For sure, it'll be a memorable one for sure.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
For any media students thinking about withdrawing from their program, what would you say to them, specifically media students?
I would say don't rush through it. I speak to your professors, speak to your faculty, understand what the plan is, and evaluate your options. There's a deadline of December the 5th to withdraw and get the full tuition back, refund, and I wouldn't make a decision before understanding well what the plan is, understanding well what is going to happen in each of the courses, and how these will unfold between now and the end of the winter semester. Once you get that understanding, I think you are able to make a decision. There are many implications to that. Our idea behind keeping the academic year was not to set back our students 1 year, because most of our programming in September is not taught in January. So losing 1 semester will set back students 1 year. So I think that's the balance that students must see. And for many students, that could be a valid option. Saying, you know what, I'd rather delay 1 year and restart fresh. That's perfectly valid. But for some others, especially ones that are more advanced in the program, that might not be an option. So presenting the 2 13-week semesters, I think is a valid alternative, and is one that at the core of it will be flexibility, but also that the learning outcomes and the learning promise that we made will be fulfilled.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
No, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Of
It's great.
course,
Yeah.
anytime. And a reminder, here are some key dates for you to remember. Humber now has a new updated calendar for the remainder of the school year. Remember, the college reopens on Tuesday, January 2nd. Classes will then resume on Monday, January 8th. The last day of fall classes will be on Tuesday, January 23rd, and the final grades will be then given out on Friday, January 26th. The first day of the winter semester starts on Monday, January 29th. Last day to drop your program for refund is Friday, February 9th. Colleges will be closed on February 19th for Family Day. The last day to withdraw from programs will be on March 26th. The last day of winter classes will be April 27th. Finally, we leave you with your 3-day forecast. Victoria Shiba has more.
Thanks, Sarah. Your first weekend back to school is looking good. It's also Black Friday, so be ready to take on busy roads and malls. Today, the high will be 11 degrees, dropping to a low of 5, with a chance of showers this evening. Saturday will be mainly cloudy with 40% chance of rain. The high of the day is 7 and the low is -3. Sunday will be a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 4 and getting a little colder with temperatures dropping to -4 in the evening. Don't forget, this weekend all skating rinks in Toronto open for the season. You might want to go on down and get your skate on. Back in the newsroom, all yours, Sarah.
That's all for today. Thanks for joining us for this special edition of Humber News. After the strike. For these and much more, visit humbernews.ca. Humber News is written and produced by students in the journalism program. Our technical crew are students in the broadcast videography program. I'm Sarah Flores. We'll see you again next time.